Yo, welcome back to another video, everyone. Today, we are going to be ranking the 10 arcs in Attack on Titan from the worst to the best. This video is 100% opinion based, meaning that these are my choices for the arcs. This is what I think of these 10 arcs, and this is how I'm going to be ranking them from worst to best. So if you disagree with me, I don't care because this is my video. Feel free to drop a comment down below and show me your list, and I probably won't see it. Just kidding, I read all the comments all the time, so please comment. Since the recent Berserk chapter, I've just been going in ham with the videos on Berserk. As you know, it's my favorite manga, and I just want to make as many videos as I... Let's go ahead, without any further ado, rank the 10 arcs of Attack on Titan from worst to best. Starting at number 10, the worst arc in Attack on Titan for me personally, in my opinion, is the 104th Training Corps arc. A very, very tiny arc in the story of Attack on Titan. Basically, nothing happens. The only thing that happens is the squad becomes the squad. They go into the Survey Corps and they get recruited, and that's literally all that happens in this arc. So obviously, I'm not going to rank it very high because literally nothing happens. Number 9 is the first arc in the story of Attack on Titan, being the Fall of Shiganshina. The Fall of Shiganshina was only 2 episodes in the anime, and it was 2 very strong episodes, as it really hooked the watcher slash reader in these first few chapters or episodes, depending whether you're watching it or reading it. These first 2 episodes really hooked you, seeing the Titans for the first time, the mystery of the Colossal Titan, the mystery of the walls, introduction to the characters of Eren, Armin, Mikasa, Eren's mother dying. No. There was a lot of cliffhangers in these first 2 episodes, and I'm pretty sure this is what really attracted people into the binge that is Attack on Titan. Therefore, it does get the number 9 spot, and it's just a little bit better than the 104th Training Corps arc. Number 8 is the Battle of Trost. Now, the Battle of Trost could very well go back and forth with the Fall of Shiganshina, as again, these first 3 arcs are all very, very short, and they all span in the first season of the series. Now, Battle of Trost was a pretty good arc, since it was the second attack of the Colossal Titan on Wall Rose, and it was pretty cool seeing Eren actually die in the first few episodes. But you know he's gonna come back alive. He's the main character. Eren's Titan gets revealed. We get some cool fight scenes, things like that. Mainly just character introductions in these first 3 arcs more than anything, so they could really go back and forth at any point. It's not really a big deal. From 8, 9, and 10, these 3 arcs are pretty basic and just really introductions to the series. So getting into number 7, getting into the actual good arcs, here is the Female Titan arc at number 7. So the Female Titan arc was the main arc in season 1 of Attack on Titan. The Female Titan arc was actually a very good arc. We get to see Annie and her character develop a lot as an antagonist, and you know, I love my girl Annie. She's a sick character. The Female Titan is dope. Her introduction was very mysterious, and just seeing how all these mysteries were put together into revealing who the Female Titan is, even though it was kind of obvious, to be honest, it was still very enjoyable to watch. And the final conclusion between Eren versus Annie was a great fight. At number 6, I have the Royal Government arc. The Royal Government arc is a very different arc from the others in Attack on Titan, since it mainly focuses solely on politics. It is the first part of season 3, and it mainly just focuses on Levi. Season 3 was a season heavily based around Levi, his backstory, his relationship with and seeing people fighting people for the first time as opposed to people fighting Titans was a very nice breath of fresh air in Attack on Titan, since we're used to seeing Levi cutting down Titans, not Levi fighting freaking Kenny of all people. Speaking of Kenny, he was a really enjoyable character, and spoilers, the way he went out was very, very tragic. The final conversation with him and Levi, that just hit completely different. The Royal Government arc was very interesting, seeing how the fake king got overthrown, and Rod Reis is an antagonist while we all hated him. The final conclusion to the arc, Historia killing her father, was a pretty solid end to the arc. Now, number 5 is going to be the most controversial placing on this entire list, as it is the final arc in the series, and there is a certain chapter that a lot of people don't like. Number 5 is the Rumbling arc. The Rumbling arc, for me, is not as bad as people make it out to be. People make the Rumbling arc sound like it is the worst arc in the series, when in all honesty, I really enjoyed it myself personally. Now, I'm gonna leave 139 for a bit later, but let's just talk about the arc in general itself. Of course, if you're coming off an arc like the War for Paradise arc, it's going to be very difficult to make it as good, even a bit less as good as the War for Paradise arc. Because the War for Paradise arc, let's be honest, that arc was just mind-blowing. I feel like that's one of the reasons people don't like the Rumbling arc, is because it's the final arc in the series, and after an arc like War for Paradise, Marley, and Return to Shiganshina back to back, you kind of expect something better, I guess. But to me, it wasn't bad. Seeing the Survey Corps and the people of Marley allied together for the first time in history is something that never happened. We've never seen it, and we never expected something like that to happen. And while it was dragged on for quite a while, I didn't like how much it was dragged on. It was still very nice. Now, a chapter that I really think is one of the best chapters in Attack on Titan, not only in Attack on Titan, in manga in general, chapter 131 was one of the most tragic chapters I've ever read. Chapter 131, the freedom speech that Eren had. What a chapter that was, and I don't know why it doesn't get this much consideration. Well, I do know why. It's because it's in the Rumbling arc and everyone hates the Rumbling arc. Other than that, the fight on top of the Founding Titan was very fun to read. A lot of people didn't like it again, but I mean, there was a lot of reveals. And overall, just getting to see how many different powers Eren had, being able to control every single Titan in the past, including Zeke, Bertolt, so many of these other shifters that had passed away. Getting to see Levi finally take the head of Zeke. Chapter 138, Mikasa and Eren having their conversation. Not really conversation, it was in a dream. Of course, the main thing about this arc is the ending. Chapter 139, a lot of people don't like it, a lot of people like it. I'm kind of neutral myself, so I'm not really going to use that one chapter to discredit the entire arc. In my opinion, the Rumbling arc was a solid arc. In fact, I really enjoyed it. I think actually it was a really good arc. So at number 5, I have the Rumbling arc. At number 4, I have the Clash of Titans arc. The Clash of Titans arc was the entirety of Season 2, and Season 2 was fire, because if you know what went down in this season, you know why I love this arc so much. I'm of course talking about Season 2, Episode 6, being Reiner and Bertolt's transformation. That was one of the best moments in the entire series. I think everyone can agree on that plot twist was phenomenal. Whether you saw it coming or not, the way it was written, the music. Of course, not only that, the fight between Eren and Reiner was phenomenal. Their conversation, episode 9, amazing. And the conclusion to the season being Eren acquiring the coordinate powers. Season 2 of Attack on Titan, or the Clash of Titans arc, was an incredible arc, therefore giving it the number 4 spot on this list. At number 3, I have the Marley arc. Some people have the Marley arc at number 2, but for me, the Marley arc is at number 3. The Marley arc was a very different breath of fresh air for Attack on Titan. The beginning of Season 4 was primarily where this arc began, and it was very different because we got to see what was beyond the wall, which is something we hadn't seen for the entire series, and seeing what was beyond the wall was very different. Getting to see Reiner and his backstory and what really went down in his childhood, Zeke, all the other people in Marley, seeing them, the reunion between Eren and Reiner, the fight in Marley, Eren absolutely destroying everyone. The Marley arc, again, was a breath of fresh air compared to everything else in the series that we've seen before that, and in general, it was just one of the most well-written arcs in the series. Now, there's 2 arcs left, and I'm sure you know what both of them are. Number 2 is the Return to Shiganshina. The Return to Shiganshina, the more I think about it now, the more I want to place it at number 1. But if you know what number 1 is, you know why it's number 1. The Return to Shiganshina arc was one of the best written arcs I've ever seen. Not only was it jam-packed with action, not only was it the biggest climax in the entire series, being the fight humans versus Titans for the final time. On top of that, on top of Erwin's speech, Levi versus the Beast Titan, Armin's sacrifice, Armin being revived, Erwin dying, literally everything that happened in that arc, the battle against Reiner, Bertolt, Zeke, and on top of all of that, there was the basement. The basement was the mystery that was built up the entire story. The basement was revealed at the end of this arc. Getting all of that incredible action in the final battle that was built up for so long, and on top of that, getting the reveal of the basement. how could it not be top 3 arc in Attack on Titan with all of those beautiful things built up to it? Season 3 Part 2 was peak Attack on Titan in my opinion, but there is still one part that was better in my opinion, and it has not yet been animated. And if you know Attack on Titan, you know what's coming. Number 1 is the War for Paradise arc. The War for Paradise arc is the greatest arc in Attack on Titan. It is one of the greatest shonen arcs ever, and for good reason, because not only was the battle that occurred phenomenal between Titans and humans, the military, everything going on there, the entire Survey Corps being turned into pure Titans, Reiner versus Eren again, oh my, and the climax, one of the greatest climaxes I've ever seen, without question, one of the greatest climaxes I've ever seen, being Eren and the manipulation of his father. Like, I can go on about this arc forever, but I really want to save it for another video. Just the fact that Eren was able to manipulate all the past Attack Titans and manipulate his father into bringing this plan of his into fruition, and we know how it ended, but we move on from that. The conclusion of the War for Paradise arc was probably the best part about it in my opinion, and overall it is in my opinion the best arc in Attack on Titan. So whether you agree or disagree with this list, feel free to drop a comment of your own favorite arcs in Attack on Titan, as there are many different opinions that can be said about the story, since the story has so many incredible moments. That's it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. Over 85% of you are not subscribed, so make sure you hit that sub button and hit the bell to join the notification squad. Thank you for watching. I will see you all later. Take care and peace.